igqirha lendlela ke nguqongqojane igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqojane igqirha lendlela yebaba nguqongqojane igqirha lendlela kuthiwa nguqongqojane eba seleqabele qatapa nguqongqojane selequbule qatapa.
Hello there, Rivet here again. Glad you could join me here in my kitchen. Welcome to the Ascend Rivet. Good to see you. Glad you're back. Today we're going to make something really good. It's an Ethiopian condiment. It's called Niter Kibbeh. Kibbeh? I think that's how you pronounce it. It's essentially a spice clarified butter, and it is delicious. It is a critical ingredient for Doro Wat, which I mentioned before. Is an Ethiopian chicken stew that is the best chicken stew you've ever tasted. And my wife wants me to make it again, or which I'm going to, but you need the two critical ingredients to make it. You need the berberry paste, which I made earlier last week, and I posted, and you need this Niter Kibbeh for it. You can make it with regular clarified butter, but it's just not going to be the same. So I figured it's so easy to make, I might as well make it. We're going to keep it. It keeps forever. You can put it in your freezer, good to go, and you can use it for, oh boy, you could mop your briskets with it when you're smoking them. You can baste your chicken with it when you're oven roasting the chicken. You can paint some salmon steaks or pork chops when you're grilling them. There are so many uses for Niter Kibbeh that you should keep it in the house, and it doesn't last that long. It keeps about 4 months in the fridge, and our half-pint jar never lasts that long. I'm going to make a pint, 2 half-pint jars. One I put in the fridge, and the second one goes in the freezer, and the one in the freezer can keep forever. So you're thinking, what's with all the Ethiopian condiments? Well, because they're good. It's good to have condiments in the fridge. You know, if you have certain butters, flavored butters, certain flavored oils made up, certain things, you can just concoct any kind of recipe you want, and bingo, you're set. But anyway, a little background on Niter Kibbeh. I was looking through the internet the other day, and I ran across a website called Serious Eats, SeriousEats.com, and there was an article, I forget who the writer was, on Niter Kibbeh, and it was just poetry almost, and it was so good that I copied it down. My printer's broken, so I had to handwrite it, and I'm going to read it to you. I got to share it with you. It is that good, and you will then hopefully understand how good this stuff is. This is him writing, okay? Talking to a friend about a culinary secret weapons got me thinking about the secrecy and mystery that often comes with spices. They're easy to hide in a finished dish, and when carefully blended, they can become hard to identify. In a dish, in a dish whose soul lies in spices, coaxing the right flavor out of the right blend can be tricky and a genuine challenge. But sometimes the answer is also dead easy. A breeze to make at home, inexpensive, with incredible depth of flavor. Now we're talking about a special weapon, special secret weapon of mass culinary destruction. We're talking about Niter Kibbeh. Niter Kibbeh is nothing more than a spice clarified butter, but it's also something of a time capsule. Spices are blended into ethereal balance, then locked in a solid and almost impervious to age. When you use a few spoonfuls to select some aromatics or add a dab to finish a sauce, all that well-built flavor is released as an instant perfume that transforms whatever it touches. The ingredients, for the most part, are simple. Confitted garlic and onion yield a complex sweetness as well as a buttery body. Ginger, cinnamon, and cloves add complementary dimensions of flavor. The only spices you may have to go out and buy are cardamom and fenugreek, both of which I consider essential. Cardamom for its kiss, and fenugreek for its bittersweetness. Niter Kibbeh is something transcendent. So, I thought that was very good, and if that doesn't get you stoked up to make some, nothing's going. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I'm going to wash my hands, I'm going to set up the ingredients, I'm going to give you the ingredient list. Super easy to make, and we're going to cook it all in stovetop, and that's it. Okay, what you want to do is you want to take a pound of unsalted butter, and we're going to melt it very gently over low heat. And here's a 4th stick. that baby in there. Good stuff. And while this is melting, I'm going to finally dice up, well not finally, just I'm going to chunk up the onion, cut it up, and I'm going to cut up the bulb of garlic. We need about 7 to 10 cloves, coarsely chopped or just smashed. That's about a bulb. So I'm going to do that in the meantime, then we'll come back. We are melting the butter, clarifying it. As you can see, that white foam, and underneath it, you see the golden butter fat. That white foam are the milk solids, is the milk solids that's coming out from the butter. And clarified butter is simply the separation of the milk solids from the butter fat itself. So if you just want to make clarified butter, you do what this is doing, and you start skimming off the foam. Now save the foam because it's great in biscuits, in mashed potatoes, you can put it on baked potatoes, you're making buttermilk pancakes. It's good. It's nutrition, it's milk solids. But that is what allows butter to scorch so easily. So clarified butter, one of the benefits of the golden butter fat is, one, it keeps a lot longer, even at room temperature. It won't spoil in a couple of weeks. Two, it raises the smoking temperature incredibly much from regular butter. I think regular butter starts to scorch around 300 degrees. Clarified butter won't start to scorch until 450. So here we have the ground cardamom. Here we have the ginger. I'm using crystallized ginger. Here we have fenugreek seeds. Here we have whole cloves, cinnamon sticks, and this is optional, is the one small hot pepper that I'm going to crush and cook in there. It just adds a little flavor. Of course, now here we have the ginger. I'm using caramelized ginger because that's all we had. I thought we had ginger powder. We didn't. And I forgot to buy some fresh ginger root at the grocery store the other day. You can use any kind you want. If you use ginger powder, I would say probably 2 tablespoons heaping of this size. Caramelized ginger, you can buy in any grocery store, about that much. Ginger root, again, about that much. Don't forget to peel it. And let me go ahead and I'll set that off here. So we're going to put in all the spices right now in there. And what we're going to do, the idea here is we're going to cook them gently in the butter. The butter is now all melted. So I'm going to use this to mix the spices in. What we want to do is get this to a low simmer. Here's the hot chili pepper, seeds and all. Okay, we want the heat from the seeds. Now this happens to be a Malawian or Zambian peri-peri pepper that I grew last year and I dried. And these are the ones that are hot as grenades that I told you about in my gardening video. So my hands are, I'm not going to touch anything until I wash them. Now we have that one medium to large white onion chopped up, and we have 9 smashed garlic cloves. That was pretty much the whole bulb. And they don't have to be all chopped up and nice, because remember, we're just going to be cooking this and we just want to release the flavors. Looks good. That's it. That's how easy it is. And believe me, this is the kind of stuff you want to have in your fridge. We are at the 1 hour mark. The house is smelling delicious. So I'll turn the timer off. Here we go. This is what it looks like. I've left it covered for the first hour. We got it a little bubbling and boiling. That's how you want it. I'm going to put the lid back on, and we're going to cook it for another hour. And the last half hour, I think I'm going to take the lid off. Okay? Okay, after 2 hours, what we have here is a glass 2-quart bowl and a small plastic colander. And what we want is a cheesecloth in here to strain it, but I don't have one. I can't find my cheesecloth. So I'm using a baker's cloth, which is fine. I was just afraid it might absorb too much of the good butter. But anyway, we're going to strain it. And what we want to do, let's see all that get in this. What we want to do is get the all the thick onion, garlic, cinnamon sticks, all that stuff out of that. Because all we want really is just butter. Well, we got this here. We're going to let it hopefully settle. Oh yeah. Look at that golden butter fat just dripping down. Can you see that? That's what we want. That is Niter Kibbeh. That is a deliciousness. And I'm just hoping that this cloth doesn't absorb too much. So I'm going to be smashing this down and stirring it up. With the cheesecloth, you don't have to do that. Okay, so we're going to let this sit here and drain. And I'm going to do this, and even with the cheesecloth, you probably want to let it drain for 20 minutes. Okay? And after that, we're going to pour it in the containers, and you'll see what happens. So I'm going to start turning this. I'm going to try to squeeze some more. God, that's hot. Oh, that is killer hot. And I'm going to press. And I'm going to press, trying to get as much butter as I can get out of this. And oh, well, eventually I guess I could get it all, but I'm not going to mess with that. So, anyway, we've got a pint and 3/4, a pint and a half. What am I saying? 3/4 of a pint. Okay. Here's the jar, half pint, and we got another half. So this will go in the compost heat. I'm going to pour that in there, and we'll see what it looks like. The final verdict was, 3/4 a pint. So you can see the golden loveliness of Niter Kibbeh. So we're going to take it and we're going to pour it like such into a half pint container. That is tastiness. And then we're just going to put I wash and sanitize those jars. We're not going to can it. We're not going to do nothing. You just put it in there and let it rest at room temperature. It's going to start to solidify like butter, and we'll put that up. The remainder, well, dang on, maybe that cloth didn't eat that much. We usually get 2 full half pints to the top. Given that, yum! God, I want to fry some eggs in that. What I'm going to do is, what I usually do for the one in the fridge, I just put some plastic wrap and a rubber band around it. This one will go in the freezer. And once it gets cold, it's yellow, you just take a fork or knife and pop off whatever piece you want. It busts open, and you are good to go. So we're going to let these here cool off, put them up, and that's it. You got Niter Kibbeh. And we're going to make Dora Wat later on next weekend, and you're going to see how beautiful this stuff is and how important it is. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate your company. Please come back and check it out. See you later.
Seleka bele kajaba ya mama kuko ngotane.